What's going on, guys? It's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. As we can see, we are in front of the Supra, the Toyota Supra, the brand new Supra. There's a lot of talk around how it's a BMW on the inside, how it's, you know, not everybody's cup of tea in terms of styling, how people kind of complain about it all over the place. But today we get a chance to take a close look. Now, it is a prototype, but it's pretty much a finished car. It's even got street tires on it. So let's go over it in detail and take a quick close look at what the Supra has and why I'm actually very excited about it. So here it is, boys and girls. We got a red one, we got a white one, and they both look really good. And the first thing I want to say is that they actually are smaller than you would think. When I first saw the pictures, when I first saw the Supra, it was much bigger, I thought, in pictures than in real life. I mean, compared to, let's say, a Civic Type R, this is actually a smaller car than a Civic Type R overall. And that goes to show you that this is a proper sports car. Weight is the enemy of speed, and this is not going to weigh too much because it's not that large of a car. Let's look closely at this front bumper here. And what may look like fake vents are actually not. These are actually functional vents. You can see that right there, the air passes through. This up here is likely some kind of lane departure system or a collision mitigation system. It's on both sides. I know that one is definitely a collision mitigation system, but this may also play into it. I'm not too sure, but because that side has it, I think they want to keep it symmetrical. So this side has it. You can see this is definitely going to be a premium car. It has these little sensors here. These are parking sensors, and as you get closer and closer to your objects, it'll tell you when you're getting close. Again, this is a very premium product. It's got a very nice gaping mouth there just to cool down that straight six engine from BMW. You can see the intercooler in there. You can see a little bit of the radiator. I think it looks pretty good from the front itself. Now, some people are going to complain that this is a fake vent right there. I think it really completes the look of the car. It looks really good, and you know, it is fake, but I'm sure at some point people will make it functional. And then the light itself, I'm actually not too fond of the lights. They look a little bit funny with these, I call them bug eyes. They look like little flies' eyes or something like that. But overall, I think the front looks really good. Super aggressive and super slippery, which is what you want in your sports car. I also want to mention the splitter here. Definitely something really cool about it. It looks like a proper sports car. So looking closely at this corner here, we see again this fake vent people are going to complain about. This side marker is definitely got to go. I think a smoked side marker is going to look a lot better than this yellow one, but because of US regulations, you need to have that. Now let's look at the brake package here. I think the brake package is really good on this. It doesn't look that big in real life, but because again, this car really isn't that big. It's not a very heavy or big car. It's going to do a great job of stopping this car on a track. It's got, looks like 4-piston Brembos, which is what the Type R has, which is, it works great on the Type R. It's going to work great on this. I like that they went with a solid disc. Now, again, this is a prototype, so I'm not sure they're going to stick to that for looks solid vented discs, is definitely vented, work way better than drilled. I would prefer slotted, but that's all right. If you look right here, we got the vents there. That from the front, you get the air going through, and it'll cool down your brakes. It'll cool down this whole system here, and it'll probably make for a really good track day car. This is actually more kit than I expected to see. Now, looking at this vent again here, not functional. I thought it would be to kind of release the hot air from the engine bay, but it doesn't look functional at all. And there may be some space there to open that up one day if you're into modifying it. It's going to definitely need a lot of cooling for the track days if you're going to be doing that. And another fake vent right there, in case you guys were wondering. Honestly, I don't really mind them. I think it completes the look overall. It looks, without the fake vents, it'll look kind of plain. It'll look kind of you know, monotonous, and it wouldn't be something interesting to look at. Now from this angle right here, I think this is probably the best angle of a Supra. Again, you have a little bit of a fake little vent there. I think without that, the car just would not look complete, so I don't mind it at all. I know a lot of people are going to complain about it, but I don't care about it at all. Again, you have sensors. This is a premium car after all. Got little sensors there. And then let's take a look at the brakes here. The rear brakes are huge for the back. Usually on the rears they kind of skimp out. They're not skimping out on this. It looks like proper brakes. Now these are not fixed brake calipers. These are sliding brake calipers. A little bit cheaper in design, but still pretty big for what they are. Should probably make brake pad cost a little bit less expensive, because you really don't need that much braking from the back. Now the fact that they did go with such huge brakes back here does mean that they mean business. This is going to be a proper track car, and I expect to see a lot of these out on the track and at time trials, at Grid Life, and at Global Time Attack. Now as for the interior actually looks pretty good. It actually reminds me more of a BMW than anything else. I think that's why most people are criticizing it for it being a BMW. It is what it is, not a big deal. I think I like it. I mean, I've always liked BMWs. I own a couple of them myself. So the interior looks pretty good. A little bit dark in there, maybe add some red or something to make it look better. But really, not much to complain about in the interior. We'll have to drive it to really see how it's going to be. Now I want to point out one thing here. I love the shape right there. That is an awesome shape. I mean, it almost looked like a driver's helmet or something. Let me know what you guys think that looks like in the comments. I think it looks like a driver's helmet. It could be sunglasses. I mean, it could be so many different things. Fighter jets, I think, look like that sometimes. Race cars look like this. I mean, this is a great look right there. This is going to be a defining feature of the Supra. So the back of the car is where the most aggressiveness is. You got this tail light here sticking out from the bodywork. That looks a little funky close up, but I think again it completes the package. It looks better in person than it does in pictures and videos, honestly. And then we got the back splitter here. It's not a functional splitter, not really. It doesn't really stretch back towards the middle of the car, but it looks good nonetheless. So let's go ahead and get under it. So there's the limited slip differential. Now that looks like a BMW unit. Looks very high tech. It's got heat sinks there to reduce the heat. Again, this is it's gonna be a proper track day car for sure. And it looks like it's pretty simple to just chop off that muffler and do a simple muffler delete, as I'm sure most owners are gonna do almost immediately. I wonder how it'll sound without that muffler there. Now the thing about that muffler, this big piece here, that I think it's part of the aerodynamic package, because as you can see it's fairly flat, and then it kind of opens up here, and then you got this, and then you got this little fake splitter over here. But I think they did a really good job. And if we zoom in here a little bit, you see little deflectors, air deflectors, to cool down the brakes. Right there, you can see that right there. So here we have it in white. I want to show you guys this right here. It's going to have active exhaust. You see the little sensor there. It controls a flap. So probably in sport mode, it'll have a sport mode or a comfort mode. It'll have a flap there, right there on that exhaust, to control the sound of the exhaust. That's pretty cool. I like that they do that. I think one of the main reasons why they do that is because they have to pass certain regulations on noise, and if they have that flap there, they can turn it on sport and not sport. They can get away with a louder exhaust if they have that right there. And here we can get a better angle. We can see the electronics package here for the LSD, the limited slip differential. Again, this car is going to be a serious car out on the track. Another thing to note here is the size of the front wheels and tires. So this is a 19-inch wheel with 255, 35, 19 tires. These are fairly wide tires for the front. These are 255 is pretty nicely sized for the front of the car. Let's take a look at the back. So in the back, as you'd expect, we got very aggressive 275, 35, 19-inch tires and wheel package. Very aggressive, very wide. I'm currently running 265s on my Type R. So, and I thought those are super wide, but this is wider, and of course, a wider tire is going to give you more performance in the corners, and when you launch it, this is a rear-wheel drive car for sure. And I do like that they have a staggered setup. It definitely helps balance out the car. Eventually, I'm sure people will change the tires out for even wider. Looks like you can fit a fairly wide tire here with some aggressive offset. It's got a ton of room there to add some more tire. Probably a 305-inch tire would be nicely at home here. And I would guess that here a 265-inch tire would be at home as well. Again, plenty of space to upgrade. We'll be seeing some people upgrade that for sure. Now, to finish off the video, the front of the car, again, I think is not the best looking part of it. It's got a little bit of awkwardness here at the lights and things like that. And the engine itself, yes, there's going to be a lot of controversy. It's not the 2JZ that everybody loves. It's a BMW inline six, but as a fellow BMW owner, I think that's a good thing. Inline sixes from BMW are incredible. They've done a really good job. And honestly, you know, if it's anything similar to the old M2 engine or even the new M2 engine, this is going to be a blast to drive. So I actually look forward to seeing these on the streets. I might even consider possibly getting one. What do you guys think? All right, guys, what do you think? Should I get one or not? There's a red one, there's a white one. I'm really actually considering, now that I see it in person, much smaller than I thought it was going to be. In pictures, it looks huge because of the big front hood and the big front overhangs that it has. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.